I wanted to let my mom know that I love her very much. I know that she was going through a really tough time, and I know she is still going through a tough time. I forgave her a long time ago because God forgave me for all that I've done in my life, and she is always in my prayers and always will be.
Hello, I'm Albert Tittis, back with you again for another program of Eternity Now. I'm happy to have with me as my guest today, Marky Silvers. Marky is an aspiring musician here in Nashville, and he has a new CD out called Heal Our Scars, and he has a rather interesting message with his music. Marky, it's good to have you with us here today.
It's great to be here. I'm thankful for being here.
Yeah, the title of your CD here intrigues me, Heal Our Scars. You apparently have found some healing that you're sharing with your listeners and fans, right?
Yep, I sure am.
What have you experienced healing from?
Well, I had a really bad past. I grew up with my parents always fighting. My mom would leave me and my sister at home for weeks at periods of times, and it just took a huge effect on me, and I turned to drugs and alcohol to heal me and stuff.
I think for that would more like get your mind off your problems, huh?
Yeah, that's what my attention was. I was trying to forget everything and just block everything out.
But it obviously doesn't solve your problems, I guess.
No, it doesn't.
Is what we find. Yeah. So was this a steady pattern of your mom being gone a lot all while you were a kid?
Yeah, she would come and go. She would bring back random guys when she was married with my dad. Yeah.
They apparently broke up.
Well, she didn't let him know. She just...
No.
She was doing drugs, so she did whatever she could to get her drugs.
And that meant a lot of anxiety and stress for you, I guess.
Yeah, I was just a young kid.
Well, how did you cope with it other than drinking and drugs?
Well, eventually the drinking and drugs wasn't enough for me, so I turned to cutting. And
oh.
Yeah.
Now, how could cutting relieve stress and anxiety? That would seem to cause you pain and make the situation worse, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I did it for more than one reason. I did it because I hated myself and I felt like no one cared about me, so I just took it all out on me.
I see. Well, I know what it's like to hate myself. I guess I didn't. I guess my background wasn't quite as rough as yours, but I tended to dislike myself because I didn't have the kind of talents I wanted. You know, I was different. I was musically inclined, but I wanted to be talented in science and medicine. I guess my father was a successful doctor, and that caused me a lot of anxiety. So I can kind of relate to that. But I guess I never got depressed enough to cut myself.
Yeah.
But maybe you were like me. You must have been musically inclined.
Well, what do you mean by that?
Well, did you have the gift of singing, or could you play an instrument, or?
Yeah, I used to sing all the time when I was younger. I can't play nothing, but.
Oh, you sing, and your CD here is singing, obviously.
Yep.
Well, now, have you found music to have a healing effect?
Oh yeah, definitely. The Lord just gave me all these songs. I'm not a songwriter. He gave me all these different lyrics, and one day I sat down at the table and I wrote a song called Brand New. It was actually my very first song on that album.
Oh.
And it was about me running away from my problems, and because I was still struggling with drinking and everything, and I just sat down at that table and I was like pleading to God, like, I'm gonna give my life to you.
Oh, and then writing those lyrics was probably therapeutic to you.
Yeah, they just came out of nowhere.
How about that? Well, you were expressing feelings that were kind of welling up inside, and so what brought you to Nashville, Marky?
Well, it's really weird. this guy named Gene Burrows. He runs the street paper called Faith Unity. He actually messaged me on Facebook, and he told me that he wanted me to come to Nashville and do some music because someone, I guess one of my friends, sent him a link to one of my videos on YouTube, and he liked my singing, and so he got me a bus ticket, and I came to Nashville.
Oh, well, interesting way to get here. That's probably the way.
Yeah, it was horrible.
So how did he put you to work once you got here, Marky?
Well, when I got to Nashville, we started music.
Right, and so what kind of music did you get you to recording?
Christian music.
Oh, and you didn't grow up singing in church, obviously.
No, I didn't even know Christian music existed, to be honest.
But now, of course, Christian music has a lot to do with healing from some of the scars that you accumulated, when you were a kid.
Yeah, I didn't know it at first, though. Like, I knew God, but I didn't want to do Christian music. Like, I came here to do pop music.
Oh, well, so then how could you make the transition to Christian music?
It wasn't right away. It took a little time, and it was really weird for me at first. I didn't know what to...
Well, did you do any drinking and drugs once you got here?
Not at first, but yeah, I kind of hid a drinking problem I still was struggling with. I didn't let anyone know.
Yeah. So did anyone then help you steer you into, the gospel and the healing power of Jesus and things like this?
Yeah, Gene, he always encouraged me about God, and Caleb would always be on in his radio.
Did you cut yourself after you got to Nashville?
I did not, no.
That was that was over by then.
Yeah, I stopped after I almost died.
Oh. Well, of course, there are many false crutches like that. Now, in the Bible, of course, you read instances of cutting, like, when Elijah was on Mount Carmel, praying for fire from heaven. Well, the people from Baal, they'd cut themselves to try to get Baal to send fire down. And Jesus saw some demoniacs, who were cutting themselves with stones. So I guess that's a procedure. But maybe you did it on a lesser scale than that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I told you I just did it I thought it helped me, and I thought it would help my problems, but it didn't do nothing.
Yeah. But now, writing creative music, that sounds therapeutic to me. How do you feel like when you're, in the heat of composition of a song? That gets your mind off your problems, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's like I'm in a different world.
Ah, now you're in a different world in the good sense of the term.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you're not taking your mind off your problems or anything like that, huh?
No, like, I learned to face my problems, like, and not lean on a drug or something to help me get that thing off my mind.
Yeah. Well, and then, of course, you're blessing other people. So how have your CDs been selling?
Huh?
How have your CDs been selling then?
Pretty good. I mean, considering I'm not well known out there, they're actually pretty good. I sell some at my shows and on iTunes and Amazon. It's pretty awesome. The Lord's.
So your boss here has apparently put you on these other channels or iTunes or?
Yeah, Gene, he does all the marketing and promotion. He's actually my record label.
Oh, okay. And he's the one who brought you here.
Yep.
What's his full name? Who is Gene?
Well, I don't know if he would want me to tell you his real name.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, that's all right. I'm talking with Marky Silvers. He has a new CD out called Heal Our Scars. But, of course, you're obviously succeeding because you're writing on your past experience.
Yep.
That's how that's how it's done. Of course, I don't know that I could write. I'm somewhat of a writer myself. I'm musically inclined, but I've played a lot of instruments. But and I've written a lot of articles and actually 2 or 3 books, but for some reason I've just never wanted to write music yet. Maybe you'll inspire me to want to be a songwriter. But I know that to be effective, in writing and communication, you have to dig into your past experience. And your past is rather painful, it looks like, but yet you can still talk about it.
Yeah, I found out that it actually helps a lot of people, and I'm not the only one who went through what I went through,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, sometimes, I might think, well, I'm the only one, who can understand me, and I start talking about myself,
Yeah.
I'm not the only one. I guess every one of us is going through some kind of a something.
Yeah.
But now there's something else you're involved with, Marky, and that is this newspaper, Faith Unity.
Yep.
Tell us a little about this newspaper.
Well, it helps people get off the streets. It helps out so many people. It's a huge blessing to people who are struggling or homeless or low income, who can't make it through the whole month to support all their needs.
How does it help them get off the streets?
They buy the paper for 35 cents and they sell it to the customer for $1. And people usually give you tips. And I know a lot of people that got housing and got jobs from this paper, so it's awesome.
And what's your part in the newspaper, Marky?
Well, Gene designs the whole paper and everything in there. I just go downtown with him and help him pass it out and sign people up.
Oh, so you're on the distribution end of it.
I guess it's a little part I do.
Yeah, well, but now here again, that's that strikes me as healing. As a good outlet. You're helping other people.
I try.
Yeah, you're meeting a need. Have you had some success stories among your people selling these newspapers?
What do you mean by that?
Well, some people find it profitable. They can earn money and they can get themselves maybe off the streets.
Yeah, there's a couple vendors that I know. They sell up in Franklin, I'm pretty sure, and they got themselves a new car, and it helped them a lot. The paper, it helped them with a lot of things.
Now these are the people that we see at the street corners selling them, like at the stoplights or at the turning lane, on the freeway ramp or things like that. Mm-hmm. Well, now that of course would make you feel good, then, wouldn't it?
I mean, yeah. If I can help someone out, that's all that really matters. That's what we're called to do.
Yeah. Could you tell us maybe the biggest success story you know about, or the people who've earned maybe the most money from selling here? Without mentioning their names, of course.
If you're talking about money, I know a girl. She makes at least over $2,000 a week selling this paper.
Why?
Yeah, that's way more than an average job.
That's a lot more than what I make.
Me too.
Maybe I ought to go homeless.
Right.
Well, she's no longer homeless then, is she?
No, not anymore.
Yeah. Well, I've contributed a few articles to this newspaper.
Really? That's awesome.
In fact, I was somewhere in one church, and someone came to me. They said they had seen my articles in this paper. I guess they buy it, off the street.
Yeah.
And that's where they sold it.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that get that paper.
But now you look like an example of one who can recover, from anxiety and depression then, through using your talents.
Yeah, I definitely couldn't have done that by myself. God carried me the whole way.
Well, it sounds like He brought you here to Nashville and put you in contact with the right people.
Yep, it's crazy what God does. He places the right people in your life.
So where do you go for support, Marky? Of course, you work with your friend here on the paper. Do you belong to any church or anything like that?
I don't have a church. It's hard to find a good church where they accept you, love you, and don't judge you. So I just sit at home and read the Word and study by myself. I feel like I learn a little more.
Yeah. By reading the Word, you mean you study the Bible?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know everything, but I'm getting there.
Do you have religiously inclined friends you associate with or
Yeah,
support?
Yeah, I actually have, I consider them my family. They live in Missouri, and I go there every once in a while, and they got an awesome church, and they're just really awesome Christians, always supporting you and lifting you up. It's good to have people like that in your life.
So going there is probably a tonic for you then.
Yeah, it's a vacation.
Well, you need that. Of course, you have your work here. And now, of course, then you have the CDs. You were saying you have shows. Where do you do your shows?
We're still working on that, but I do shows wherever I can play, like churches, events. I used to sing at bars, Christian music, you know, just get the word out there. And
How did Christian music go in the bars?
Well, I think they were a little too drunk. They didn't even notice.
Oh, okay.
But they were cheering me on, so.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, just the sound of your voice and the feel of your personality probably did them a lot of good. Didn't know they were listening to religious music, huh?
No, I guess not. They didn't catch on, I guess.
Well, but of course you never know what some of them are going through.
Yeah.
You know, they are also struggling with depression and anxiety, and that's one way of handling it.
Yeah.
You know, you go to a good bar or someplace like that, you start having fun, you start associating and things like that. But I don't know, these things are no substitute for the Word of God, I guess, are they?
No. Mm-mm.
Is there any particular portion of the Bible you like to read, Marky?
I pretty much like everything in the Bible. Do you? What about you?
Just the Word of God, yeah. I like it. I like to read the Old Testament stories.
The Old Testament?
You know, in the book of Genesis, I've been studying Isaiah and Jeremiah, you know, the prophecies there, you know, lately, and the Gospels. I always like the book of Revelation, you know, the promises there. They all apply. Each of us has a different personality, different background.
Mm-hmm.
But you look like you've been through some real healing. Now I notice some scars on your cheek there, but you say, those are not from your self-inflicted wounds.
No, I got bit by a dog when I was just a baby.
Oh no. Oh, that's a different kind of pain, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember, so. But I bet it was painful.
When you were cutting yourselves, were your cuts visible?
Not for people to see, but.
You didn't cut yourself on your face or anything like that?
No, I cut like on my lower shoulder. I always hid them from people because I hid my pain inside.
Oh. Yeah, that's one thing you learn how to do, I think, when you grow up under difficult circumstances.
Yeah.
Is learn how to hide. But you can talk about it now, but you found a creative way through creative work, like, you know, writing songs, musical songs, and then also working on this Faith Unity newspaper.
Mm-hmm.
But do you still feel tempted to cut yourself, Marky?
No, not anymore. It's all gone. It's all in the past.
That's all over.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's What about drinking?
No.
And drugs?
Never think about it.
Well, now you obviously found something to replace it.
Yep, God.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no substitute for God in our lives, is it?
He just takes the broken and makes you beautiful.
Right. But now, of course, I know the Lord works through our talents.
Yeah.
And you found an outlet through your talents.
Yeah, I've always loved singing, and now I get to sing for Him. That's the best thing someone can do, is using your talents for the Lord.
Yeah, that's right. Well, singing would be therapeutic for you.
Yeah, it helps with a lot of things.
I found the same thing in playing. Of course, I do a lot of church playing myself. Okay, Marky, I'm very interested in your CD here. You have 8 songs on here, I notice.
Yep.
And but it's Heal Our Scars, but they all come on the same theme. Like you have here, Help Can Be Found.
Yep.
But of course, we've been talking about it, but here you'll be singing about it, I see. So that'll be, that's encouraging to know. I Belong.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
Why is it one of your favorites?
It explains itself. I belong.
Yeah.
I found out that I belong here.
You aren't just, fighting things on your own and
No.
in an unhappy environment. You belong here in Nashville, don't you?
Yep, I sure do.
Yeah. Where did you grow up?
Michigan.
Michigan. Oh, okay. Well, you're a Tennessean now.
I guess so.
Yeah. Well, now here's what. He is there, it says.
Yeah. He is there every step you take.
Yeah, right. And then forgive my sins. Now that's guilt.
Yeah. We always say, "Forgive my sins, Lord." So that's what that's about.
Well, that's one of the basic Bible promises. If we confess our sin, He's faithful and just. He will forgive us our sins.
Yep.
And cleanse us all from unrighteousness. Another one here, it says, all that you need.
Yep. God is all that you need. Keep your eyes fixed up on Him.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah, this, and then there's, what about Brand New? What do you say in that song?
That's my song, pleading to God, that I surrender, and I want to hand my life over to Him.
Oh, starting all over.
That's the beginning of the album. Yep.
Right. How to be born again.
Yep. The beginning of the healing process.
Right. How to be born again. Oh, okay. Well, we wish you much success with this CD.
Thank you.
Marky. We've been talking with Marky Silvers, an aspiring musician in Nashville. I know there are many people like you here, and some find a spot for themselves and some don't. But I guess you have found a spot, haven't you?
Yep, I sure did.
And we're going to close our program today by playing just a portion of your music video.
I'm falling because of these battles I'm facing. Come save me. I'm running away from my problems. I can only hide for so long. I wanna give my life to you, but I always fail. I get so close, but then I fall. I lift my hands up to you. I'll hand my life to you. And here I'll stand, and here I'll stay. I need you now more than anything. I don't wanna be bound up. These chains are wearing me down. Come and set me free, and I wanna be brand new. I wanna live for you. I owe shouldn't I live for you? I lift my hands up to you. I'll hand my life to you, and here I'll stand, and here I'll stay. I need you now more than I'll run to you and won't look back. I'm not giving up. I'm not giving out. Here I'll stand, and here I'll stay. I love you more than anything.
Well, we thank you very much, Marky. And with that, we'll bring our program to a close for today. I'm Albert Tittis. I thank you for joining us for Eternity Now, and we'll be with you next time. Also, want to remind you, we have a Facebook page called Health Hope TV.